Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Yeah, the old clock says it's 5 o'clock. Beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. We're going to do another Nøgne, if that's how it's pronounced. Probably not. It looks how it's pronounced here in the good old US of A, but I butcher this up every time I do one. Guys, this is another one that I pulled out of the celery fridge downstairs that I've had for many years. I don't see any kind of dating on it. Nothing at all. So they may be dating their stuff now, I'm not sure, but this one has nothing written on it on the label anyway, and I doubt if it has anything with black ink stamped on the bottle, and if it could, you couldn't see it because it's got a dark beer in it. And this is an American barley wine, coming at 10%. The ingredients are maraschino, wheat, and chocolate malt, Columbus, Chinook, and Centennial hops, English ale yeast, and our local Grimstad water. Over to Untapped, they have it at 80 IBUs, and they say, this says our 100th batch, brewed for the enjoyment of brewers, but popular demand forced us to release it commercially. This malty yet light-bodied ale has a massive hop bitterness, most enjoyable in comfortable chair in front of a roaring fire. Well, this is the time of year for that here in February. Today is the 6th of February, so a good one to have by the fireplace. And like I said, guys, I've had this for many years. I don't know exactly how long. It's been in the fridge downstairs for a long time. So, I don't see a picture here on Untapped like the one we did the other day. Let me go over here where it says see all. And it's just showing more pictures of the beer in the glass. Oh, okay. Here's one of the bottle, and it looks like an orange label to it, which is completely different than what I have here. So don't know what year this one is, but being a 10% barley wine, it's not, I'm gonna say when it's not, it shouldn't have gone bad. And having it as long as I have, just like the bottle that I did the other day, it had a very heavy sediment on the bottle, and I do not expect anything different from this one. Once these beers set for a long time, they do develop that heavy sediment in the bottom of the bottle. Usually. Not always, but usually. So, we've got the ABV, we got the IBUs, and I don't know what the date is on that, guys. So, let's get it open and see what we got. A little bit of hiss, a little bit of smoke. Into the glass we go here. And unlike last time, I didn't pour the bottom half of the bottle till I went off camera, and then it clouded up the beer quite a bit. I will try to do that now before we go off camera. There's a little bit left in there. I poured it very gently because I didn't want a big head on it, and it's barely covering the top of the beer. Over into the light, guys, it is a rich mahogany red ruby color through the thin part of the glass. Not a lot of light coming through this part, but down here it's pretty clear, and I can see through the beer. So to the nose we go. Very nice sweetness to the beer, like a barley wine has. Rich roasted malt. A little bit of hint of chocolate in there, maybe some toffee or caramel, and maybe a little bit of molasses. May even be some dark fruit in there once it warms up, and which we always let happen. I'll sip on this for probably 45 minutes or so, let it come up to room temperature. It smells pretty good. Definitely got that nice sweetness like most barley wines have got. A very nice aroma on the beer, guys. So let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. A strong bitterness to the back end with 80 IBUs on a barley wine. But when you're producing a 10% beer, it takes a lot of bittering hops to balance that out. Right now, I think it's a little over bitter, but having such a sweet malt presence to it, it may be off-putting to some people having that big of an IBU, but not so much for me. Kind of pleasant, but it is a noticeable bitterness to the beer. Even though it smells sweet, it does have a fairly strong bitterness to it. So to me, it's just a tad over bitter for what I expect in a barley wine. They may want to, when I say this is just my opinion, guys, because I've brewed beers. They may want to back out some of that bittering and bring it down to maybe like 50 or 60, so it doesn't have quite such a bite on the back end. But that's just my 2 cents, guys. I don't run a beer company. I'm not a master brewer or anything like that, so this is probably where they want it to be. And I don't know if the bitterness has increased since it's been in the fridge for years. I wouldn't think so, but it's possible, I guess. So before I go off camera on this one, I'm not going to swirl it around, but I am going to pour the back end in. And there is a little bit of chunkiness coming out. And looking at the bottom of the bottle, there is a definite heavy yeast sediment in the bottom of the bottle, and I expected that. Anytime you cellar beers for that length of time, you're going to get that. Even on home brews, if you cellar them that long, you're going to get that in there. So, especially in this style. Of course, you wouldn't want to cellar an IPA or a double IPA that long, of course. But in the barley wine, yeah, a lot of times that's very common. So, well, let's let this thing come up to room temperature and sip on it for a little bit, and we'll come back and give you my thoughts. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here, but sitting on about 45 minutes or so. Tasty beer, other than having a strong bitterness to the back end. It did not subside as it come up to room temperature. I think it's a little over bitter, but still a tasty barley wine. Other than the bitterness, very enjoyable. I just think it's a little heavy on the bitterness to me. It's just my opinion, though. Some other people, you might think that it's ideal, it's perfect, but I think it's a little too bitter for a barley wine that usually has. It does have a sweet aroma, but the taste is too bitter to me. So, but I do think it's a well-made beer, other than the bitterness. So let's do the final chug here on this one. Very nice aroma. I mean, I'm getting the sweetness and everything that goes with a typical barley wine, but when you taste it, the bitterness is just a little overpowering for this style of beer to me. So, final chug. A little heavy sediment in the bottom of the glass too, but that's probably because it's been cellared for so long, so many years. So with that being said, guys, other than the bitterness, I do think it's a well-made beer, and I would probably give this, I was torn between a B plus and an A minus. And since I can't find any kind of dating on it, since it's so old, they may have changed that now, but I'm going to grade it on what I have here, and it's not telling me what year it was produced or put it in the bottle. I'm going with the B plus. I'm going to give it an 89. It's right on the door, and I could just easily give it a 90 in the A minus scale, but because of the bitterness and not having any kind of vintage or dating on it, I want to know that. Tell me it was a 2012 or a 2015. vintage on it. They don't have to put the month or the day on that. It would help for the month, so you know if it was bottled in January, July, or December of that year. So yeah, with that being said, and if you say, oh my God, that's a 10 beer, the best thing I ever had, I wouldn't argue with that, guys. Especially if you're drinking a fresher version than I am, and it has a dating on it or vintage on it somewhere. So with that being said, guys, 89 for me, B+. So over to Beer Advocate, they say 4.03, which is barely into their A- scale. And over to Untapped, they have it at 3.87, which is their B+, and a lower number than what I'm giving it in my B+ scale. So we're splitting the difference here on this one. So if you've had this beer, this is Nøgne, if that's how it's pronounced, and this is their number 100, and I think they do it probably every year. I don't know if they do it more than that, if they do multiple batches in the same year, but like I said, not having that information written on it anywhere, I'm just guessing. So if you've had this one from them, their number 100 Barleywine, let me know what you think, guys. Until we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.